In this video tutorial, we'll walk through how to find and use the library's image resource database, Luna. Now, to get started, we'll go to the library homepage from the Access Manager portal. To get to our databases, we'll click the quick link here in the middle of the page. It says Databases. We can either search for Luna by its database title in this keyword search here, or we can go to our featured databases and find Luna here.
So you click on it, it will bring you here. It will prompt you to log in, as I have already done here, as you can see. So logging into Luna will bring you to this page, and you can either immediately start searching, you can maybe take a look at some of these images, okay, kind of poke around a little bit, etc. So that's how you get to Luna, but I want to show you why you might be interested in using Luna in the first place. So as an example, I am going to show you Klimt's Kiss. So theoretically, all of you are familiar with this. It's a very popular image. And I wanted to show you what comes up when you Google it. Okay, so if you Google it, you can see that there are a lot of variations, okay? Differences in color, differences in size, in resolution, right? Some of them are cropped, some of them depict cats kissing each other instead of people. All right, and something that is worth noting is all of these that have the little tag on them, okay, they say product, these are actually not depictions of the original. These are reproductions that are made, so posters to hang in your dorm room, etc. Okay, so keeping this in mind, I'm going to show you what happens when you look in Luna for Klimt. Yes. Okay, so as you can see, we have a limited number of results. All right, so these are depicting a frieze that Klimt did in Belgium. You can see, right, he's using the same motif here. But what I want to show you is the kiss lovers. All right, and this is the nice thing about Luna. Now, I'm not sure what you're using to get images. You might be using Google Images or Pinterest, Instagram. Okay, so these are all good options, but I want to show you why you might want to add Luna to your list of places you search. Okay, so as you can see, I've zoomed in pretty far. Okay, you can see the texture of the canvas. You can see these spirals. Okay, they almost look raised, as does something like this, and there's actually a reason for that. So Klimt was both a fine artist and a decorative artist. He had training in both, and he sought to combine the two, and so what you're looking at is actually hammered gold, gold leaf, but you wouldn't necessarily know that unless you could see really close up, like you can here. Okay, so although not all the images are quite this nice, a lot of them are within Luna. So that's the image itself. On the left, you can see the information about the image, okay? So you can see where it's located, the style, okay? There are some subjects, so these are like tags that we apply to the image. There's some information here, which will usually point out to a website, etc. So it's pretty extensive, and you can use this information to kind of further your search, okay? So something else that I want to point out is the collections. You can get to the collections either by hovering over collections here in the upper left-hand corner, which shows you what's here, or when you first come into Luna. So I want to show you that you can see here. Okay, so CCS Images for Teaching. We also have a collection called, Detroit Institute of Art's Image Collection. Okay, so that has 5,600 images from the DIA itself, and it will also tell you any books that work was published in, etc. So it could be a really good resource for you if you have an assignment looking at a piece from the DIA specifically. Okay, so I wanted to show you a couple of other things. So when we first logged in, I clicked on this image, which is a very interesting image, and I wanted to kind of show you a little bit more. Okay, so you can see some more details. You can see that this is Distill. Okay, you've got some information here. Okay, you also, with these subjects or the tags that I was talking about earlier, you can search for any of them within Luna. You can either copy and paste, or you could search all fields in this way. So let's look for Theosophy. Okay, so you can see that we have 39 images that have been tagged Theosophy. All right, so maybe you're interested in this and you want to see who besides Mondrian uses Theosophy in their work, etc., etc. Okay, so that can be a really good way of kind of figuring out avenues to take for your research. Now, one other thing that I want to show you is how to create a media group. So let's say you have an assignment and you have to give a presentation in your class, etc., and you need to have images. Okay, you could put together a PowerPoint, or if you are using Luna and you find what you need within Luna, you can put together the presentation within Luna itself. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So if we go into the upper left-hand corner, you can see that it says Create. All right, and I'm just hovering, I'm not clicking, and we're going to go down to media groups. Okay, and you click on that and it will bring you to create a new media group. So I'm going to name this Theosophy, since that's what we were just looking at, and save. Okay, so if you look down here, you can see that there is a gray tab in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And it says Active Media Group, and then whatever media group you are currently using. So for me, this would be Theosophy. Now, if you click on that tab, it will show you the images within your group, and there are currently none, which makes sense. We just made it, right? Okay, so if you wanted to add images, let's say that you liked this Hilma af Klint, okay? If you hover over the image itself, you can see in the upper right-hand corner, there is a plus sign. If you click that, it will add the image to your group, okay? So maybe you really like her work, so you're kind of throwing some of those in, but then you're like, oh, this is interesting, it's a dress. So you go in, click on it, you're like, okay, yeah, that's interesting enough that I want to add it. You can also add images to your group from within the record itself. So if you look in the upper left-hand corner right now, you can see that there are these black buttons just to the right of the tan box with all the information about the image. Okay, and again, you can see the plus sign. All right, so we're going to go back, just maybe add a couple of things. I'm really liking the swans. Okay, and if you click on the tab that's called Active Media Group in the bottom, you can see what has been put in my group. So, okay, maybe that looks good. You want to reorder it, maybe get rid of one or two. Perfect. So you're going to click on the tab so that it is visible in this way, and then you can hit Go. It will take you to your media group, and you can reorder, okay, you can manage, which is how you delete images from your group, etc. Right? You can make as many media groups as you want. So let me show you how that works. So if you go to Explore in the upper left-hand corner and hover over it, you'll see that it says Media Groups as the second option. So that's what we're going to click on. On the left, over here, what you see are all the media groups that I have put together. On the right, you see all the media groups that other people have put together. So if you were interested in maybe the history of graphic design from 1900 to 1920 to kind of see how that interacts with Distill and Theosophy, etc., you could click on that and you could see what someone else has put together. Okay, so you can see there are 233 images in here. You can kind of scroll through, right? So here are some of the images that are related to what we were just looking at. Okay, how does that tie in with graphic design, etc., etc. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and then as I mentioned before, on the left-hand side are all of the groups that I have put together. Now, obviously, I've put together more than probably most of you. You may not have any at all, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going to scroll down and find Theosophy. Okay, so it's my very last one. And I'm going to click on that. Now, as students, we do not allow you to download images from Luna simply because of copyright concerns. If something is from 1924 or before, and you would like a high resolution image of it, you can contact me or the other person who works in visual resources, and I'll give you her name in a minute, and we can download those works for you and email them to you. So 1924 and before, those works are in the public domain. So they are available to you to download, etc. So if you ask us to download one, as I said, we're more than happy to do that. That could potentially be really helpful for something where you might have to draw from the old masters, right? Something like that. After 1924, we will not download that for you simply because of the copyright concerns. But let me show you a way that you can print some substantially sized thumbnails. Okay, so you have these options here, and your options might be a little bit different just because of my status as someone who works with this collection. So again, right, this upper left-hand corner with the collections and create that we've kind of spent some time looking at, you'll see that there is a print option. So you can click that and it will pull the main information about the artwork and pair it together with a thumbnail of the work. Okay, so this is decent looking, but maybe you want slightly bigger thumbnails. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so we're back in Luna again, and I'm going to go over here to the settings, which is right beside the search bar in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, so if I hover over the scroll wheel for settings, I get this drop-down menu, and I'm going to change my thumbnail size to large. Okay, so you can see that it increases the size here, but also when you go to print, you get much larger. Okay, so see the difference between these sizes? Okay, so in many cases, this will be sufficient for you to include in your papers, etc. But again, like I mentioned, right, if you look at the dates, you want something downloaded, feel free to contact me. All of these are in the public domain except for the Mondrian dress here, because they are 1924 or before.